Evening, hockey fans. Welcome back on into the neutral zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Lots to be going through tonight on the program. We are officially a full week into the NHL season. What's jumped out on us as the season has begun? Any good first impressions? Any bad first impressions? What have we thought so far? An emotional night in Columbus, Ohio, as the Blue Jackets had their home opener against the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, and they remembered Johnny Gaudreaus. We will react to that heartwarming and gut-wrenching pre-game demonstration in Columbus. It hasn't just been new beginnings across the NHL. We've also had some retirements come out before the start of the season. We'll get you caught up on those. And then some safety regulations in the AHL. Lots to be getting through and only an hour to do it. Buckling on up, dive into the neutral zone. Go. Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome back on in to the latest installment of the Neutral Zone, talking all things hockey here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I am Adam Karnick. Zach Puplis is with us as well tonight. Good evening, Zach. How are you doing, sir?
Fantastic. How are you, sir?
Oh, another day. We made it through another day, and we'll take it. So, exactly. We just kind of exhale, take a deep breath, dive into all the wonderfulness that is the hockey world tonight.
Goosefraba.
Indeed. Lots on the docket for you tonight. Going to be taken as we always do, some look around at the live scores going around the NHL world. Columbus had its home opener tonight. So the Johnny hockey crowd able to have a big ceremony before the game. We'll react to that. Zach has got a mile-long list of notes that he is hoping to get throughout the show tonight. We will dive into as much of it as we possibly can. So without any further ado, we will step aside, give you a quick word from all of our sponsors here, and then let's talk some hockey, shall we? This is the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio. We will be right back after this. IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back into the neutral zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. This show is available for you on all these social media platforms as well. We are available on Twitter at IESR Neutral Zone. You can also follow along. I am at Adam_Karnick. Zach, meanwhile, is at the Pupless on Twitter. Welcome back on in. Let's start off as we typically do, Zach. Let's go through tonight's scores. Not the busiest night in the NHL. At the same time, it's been a decent slate of games tonight. Get us caught up. How we doing around the NHL tonight?
For sure, yeah. We had like 9 or 10 games. The games have gone final so far. The one you were just talking about, the very emotional one. Panthers beat the Columbus Blue Jackets 4-3. Very close, understandable with the emotional game going on with Johnny Gaudreaus passing and everything. Hurricanes and Devils. Hurricanes beat the Devils 4-2. The Caps beat the Golden Knights 4-2. Lightning beat the Canucks 4-1. And then going on currently still, we've got Wild and Blues in the third. Wild up 3-1.
I have a quick note on that Minnesota Wild game. Also, I saw while we were doing the ad break.
Sure,
we had a goalie goal in that game.
Self goal?
No. Philip Gustafson for the Minnesota Wild scored a goal, the first ever goalie goal in the history of the Minnesota Wild.
Oh, wow.
It was on the power play even.
Oh, nice. Oh my gosh.
An empty netter with 9 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, okay. There you go. First in the history of the Wild, but how many would that be in the history of the league? Do we know?
Oh, that I will do some fast research while you keep going there.
Okay. All right. And please correct me if I'm wrong, because these were updated just a couple minutes ago. If anything's changed, let me know. Kraken and Preds, Kraken up 3 to, well, it was tied 3-3 at the end of 2. Sharks and Stars tied at 2 in 3 in the third period, and Hawks and Flames are tied at 1 at the end of the first. Still to come tonight, or any minute now, Flyers and Oilers.
And how are my Blackhawks doing tonight?
They were tied 1-1 at the end of the first. Last I knew.
Going up against Calgary, I will take that. Yeah, I will absolutely take that. So, if let's see, if Wikipedia is to be trusted,
okay,
and I want to see just how recently this article was updated. Let's see, this page was last edited a couple of weeks ago. So I'd say this is probably accurate. We have had 14 goalies score 17 goals in the NHL. So I would say tonight, Gustafsson becomes the 15th goalie, scoring the 18th goal by a goalie in NHL history.
Very cool. Does it say who've gotten the doubles?
Oh, you would ask me that, wouldn't you? Let's see. As of last season, Ron Hextall and Martin Brodeur are the only goaltenders in NHL history to be credited with multiple goals.
Okay. Yeah. Brodeur makes sense. I mean, he was one of the great ones.
Brodeur actually has 3, if you can believe it.
What?
And in fact, he had he was credited with a game-winning goal. One of his 3 was ultimately the one that won the game. So
my homework when we get done tonight, look that up on YouTube.
Yes, Martin Brodeur scoring 3 different goals in his NHL career. So Philip Gustafsson joins a very elite club. Let's see if I can get you the full list here. Let's see if I can get the full list here of goalies that have scored goals in the NHL. The first was Billy Smith all the way back in 1979.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. The most recent had been Tristan Jarry. He did that almost a year ago. It was November of last year against the Tampa Bay Lightning. He had the most. Let's see. Here's the full list here. Oh, and wow, they've already updated the Wikipedia to say 15 goalies have scored 18 goals.
Nice.
Let's see. I can get you the full. Yep. And the most recent was Philip Gustafsson tonight. So, wow, somebody was on this for Wikipedia.
Nice.
Can I get you the full list, or is it just going to give me, it's not going to give it to me as a list. So this might take me. Here we go. Billy Smith, back in 1979, Billy Smith, Ron Hextall, Chris Osgood, Martin Brodeur, Damian Rhodes, Jose Theodore, Evgeny Nabokov, Mika Norinen, Chris Mason, Cam Ward, Mike Smith, Pekka Rinne, Linus Ullmark, Tristan Jarry, and then most recently tonight, Philip Gustafsson scored a goal. So there is your complete list of NHL goalies that have scored goals.
I'll have to look up the Osgood one as well.
That one here, I'll give you the date of it. That'll help you. For Chris Osgood, that was, as I go back to my article here, so give me a minute. Osgood it was March 6th, 1996. He did it against the Hartford Whalers. And it was and that gave it ultimately gave the Red Wings a 4-2 victory, and he scored with 11 seconds left in the game.
Wow.
So
that's incredible.
Fun enough. So you were wondering about own goals? We have had Billy Smith, the first goalie to do it. Actually, it was an own goal that he scored. So we've had.
Oh, so
actually,
does it not differentiate between the two?
It does not differentiate. Actually, actually. There's been, remarkably enough, according to this, there's been 7 of them.
Oh wow.
According to this article, there's been 7 of them.
In a more infamous sense.
Yeah.
Ignoble.
Yeah, ignominious way. So, but yeah, 15 goalies have scored 18 goals in NHL history. So congratulations to Philip Gustafson on that history. On that history tonight.
Very cool.
Job very well done.
Right.
Well, you mentioned it there. You brought it up there going through the scores there. Of course, one of the huge stories in hockey tonight was that tonight was the home opener for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And not the score, not the final result they were hoping for, losing to the Florida Panthers 4-3 in that one. Columbus, as I'm just going to go through here on the box for it real fast here. Cole Sillinger opened the scoring on a power play for Columbus. So Columbus did score first in that one. And I think I saw that Sillinger, after he scored his goal, he immediately pointed to the Johnny Gaudreaus banner now hanging from the rafters there in Columbus. So a very emotional night there in Columbus. All the scoring occurred. Well, most of the scoring occurred in the second period of the game. But ultimately it was Florida that came out victorious. A tough night though in Columbus. Did you get a chance to see any of the pregame ceremony?
No, I did not.
It was a 7-minute long ceremony that they did where they played a series of interviews that Johnny had done both with Calgary and also then with Columbus, just chronicling from being a boy, having his dad take him out on the ice when he was just a few days old, to getting into skating as soon as he was able, and going through from there. His dad talked about, hey, the small guys have to earn their way onto the team. The big guys have to earn their way off the team. You're a small guy. You're going to have to be, people are going to be doubting you. So, the motivation there to keep working at it and keep striving for better. And then, of course, all the highlight reels all the way from, when he was 7-8 years old out on the ice, all the way through, just to last season with Columbus. Talked about how they had clips of he bought his house, and then just a couple of days later, his future wife bought the house next door, and that's how they met, and went from there. And heartwarming, tear-jerking, very emotional. They had the surviving family come out on the ice and be acknowledged. When they raised the banner, the public address simply asked everybody to just cheer. The crowd then, without any instruction, began just chanting Johnny Hockey. It was very well done, very emotional, very powerful job. Very well done by the crew out there in Columbus tonight. Unfortunately, they couldn't finish the job and win the game, but Florida was a bit too much there in that regard. I tell you what, though, they threw everything but the kitchen sink at them tonight. Columbus outshot Florida 38-22 on the night. So a big night in net for, a big night in net. It was not Bobrovsky in net tonight. Actually, it was the backup Spencer Knight. He had himself he acquitted himself very well. 35 saves on 38 shot attempts. Got the job done very well there. So it was not for a lack of effort there in Columbus. Definitely the emotions were backing the Blue Jackets, but couldn't quite make it the perfect night.
Right, for sure. This article I'm reading says the Blue Jackets are going to wear helmet stickers in the preseason or in the postseason. They did wear them with Gaudreaus printed between the images of two doves and the uniform numbers of the brothers. Number 13 for Johnny, number 21 for Matthew, and they'll wear a commemorative patch on the jerseys during the season.
Yeah. Yep.
And goalie Elvis Merzlikins has Johnny's number on his mask, as well as the image of a plate of pasta, Johnny Hockey's go-to pregame meal.
I saw that. That was we talked about that a little bit when we were talking about Columbus. That was very fitting to have that on there. So yeah.
The team showed up with Johnny's daughter Noah for her second birthday earlier this month. One assumes he'll also be remembered when Team USA takes the ice and the first four nations face off, having represented his country at several international tournaments.
Yeah, it's gonna be very emotional. I mean, throughout this entire season for the Blue Jackets, also in Calgary, that they've also obviously that the entire hockey world has been affected by this story, but we shouldn't overlook Calgary in this either. They've been dealing with it as well. They put on a beautiful tribute to the brothers at their home opener last week. And they've come out. Now they're playing tonight. They're playing the Blackhawks, and it 1-1 after one. We wondered before the season, we thought that it might be hard in both Calgary and Columbus for the first few months, especially, that every time they go somewhere, there's going to be in honor of the Gaudreaus brothers, either Michael or Johnny, Matthew. I'm sorry. I said Michael. As soon as I said it, wait a minute. That's not right. Matthew and Johnny everywhere they go, and what kind of an effect that would have. For Calgary, they're 3-0-0 right out of the gate. Perfect 6 points in their first three games. To me, that's very darned impressive on an overall team effort. What have been some of your impressions from the first, as we're a week into the season now? What are some of your early takeaways on the season?
Well, let me just say that I feel like this whole situation can affect them in multiple different ways. I mean, they're going to be reminded of it, okay, we're going to have a celebration in honor of his life, everything. And okay, that could have them weighed down by the emotion, by how the sadness of everything, the whole tragedy, and they could come out and play flat, or they could galvanize around it and play for that person missing who's passed on. And that's probably what Calgary is doing right now. That probably explains the 3-0 start.
Yeah. Very, very possibly, very likely there. So,
about the only one I really had a chance to go through so far was, who were they even playing? Red Wings. They were on the radio like last Friday. I think it might just been the preseason game still, but they were ahead like 2-1, I think, going into the third, and then they rallied back. The other team, I forget who they were playing, but they won it in overtime. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like, we had the lead the whole time. I was so frustrated.
I'm impressed. Just going through, some of the stats. I was looking through the first three stars of the season. And one of them that jumped out to me, Jack Eichel. 7 points already, a goal and 6 assists already on the season for the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Is our friend Cale Henderson. We are invading his time a little bit. He is overdoing Sin City Sports tonight, so he's not in the comment section. Normally we'd be on at 9:00 instead of 10:00, but we had to move things around a little bit tonight. But Vegas off to a good start on the season as a whole. The Golden Knights 3-1 in their first 4 games, so 6 points for the Golden Knights. But Jack Eichel certainly having a strong start to his season.
No, I'm so glad to hear after all the struggles a couple of years ago when we were first starting this podcast with the neck injury, and is he going to stay in Buffalo? Are they going to trade him? What are they going to do?
Yeah, all the issues and concerns there. So we're a week into the season, and we've got, I'm double checking my math here. We all know how that could work. We are down to 4 teams that are still perfect on the season. That doesn't seem like very many to me.
It doesn't, yeah. Okay, so Calgary's 1. There's 3 more then?
Yeah.
Don't tell me. I want to guess.
2 of them reside in the Central Division.
Ooh. Was one of them Florida?
Florida is not one of them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Florida has lost twice in regulation already.
Oh, dang. Wow. Okay. All right. So not Florida. So we know Calgary's 1. Okay. So there's 2 others in the Central Division?
There are 2 in the Central Division, and there is 1 other in the Atlantic Division, and then of course Calgary in the Pacific.
Okay. In the Atlantic. Oh, Calgary. Shoot, Calgary is Pacific, aren't they? Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see here. Atlantic. Let's go Lightning.
Tampa Bay 2-0 on the season. Helps that you've only played 2 games to this point, you know.
How'd they luck that? Oh man, that's some Tom Brady luck, even though there's no more Tom Brady in Tampa Bay.
Well, they're all old down there. They can't play more than twice in a week, you know.
Well, and they have to be done by 4 p.m. so they get the early bird special.
Exactly. Hey, you know, they stopped doing the senior specials at 5.
Oh, gosh, they better hurry. Central. Let's go Dallas.
Dallas is 1. Very good. 3-0 on the season.
Okay. Tampa Bay, Dallas, Calgary. Oh, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg. Very good. Yes. The fighting Connor Hellebucks.
Woo!
They are 3-0 on the season, and Winnipeg, they beat my Blackhawks the other night. The Hawks were 64 seconds away from a shutout with Soderblom in net, and they couldn't. Anyway, I ranted about that last night on Chi-Town Weekly. I don't need to bring that all up again. It's fine.
The fighting better go start your cars, you mean?
It's not that cold yet. It's still October. It's not that cold yet in Winnipeg. Give it another 2 months. Then they'll have to be the fighting start your cars. Good grief.
I still just love that story though.
Hey, it's what we do. It's what you do up there, don't you know?
Don't you know? Yeah.
Don't you know? They have to this point. Where's the third? Oh, there it is. That's why it got jumped out of order. They blanked the Oilers in the season opener 6-0, then beat the Blackhawks 2-1, and then handled the Wild in overtime on Sunday 2-1.
Wow.
So they've needed overtime their last couple of games to get it done.
Sure.
a big scoring output in that first game. Since then, a whopping total of 4 goals. But it's still, when you've got Hellebuck and net, you don't need to do much more than score 2 goals.
You've
That's
got a hell
typically
of
all
a
you
chance.
need to do. Exactly.
All right,
Exactly.
so Winnipeg, Dallas, Tampa Bay, Calgary. Okay.
Everybody else has at least lost in overtime.
Okay.
On the flip side of that, and this is just coming to me right now, we've only got coming into play tonight. Now, this doesn't include the games that have gone final tonight already. We've got 5, 6. We've got only 7 teams that are below hockey 500, that have fewer standings points than games.
Okay.
So we've got 4 unbeaten teams, and we've got 7 teams that are below 500. The rest of the league is, so it's tight here in the early going.
Is one of them Ottawa?
Ottawa. No, Ottawa actually is above water at 2-1-0 at 3 games into the season. So no, the Ottawa Senators are above water. No, your Red Wings are one of the teams that are below, that are underwater. Now, this doesn't include anything that's gone final tonight. This was coming into play today. Buffalo, the Blue Jackets, Edmonton, 0-3. Edmonton, Nashville, and Colorado are the 3 teams that have 0 standings points through the first week.
Well, we said this at this point last year. Edmonton had a slow start at that point too.
Edmonton got off to a famously slow start a year ago, fired the coach, and I don't think they're going to do that this go around. So let me ask you this. Then. So of those 3, so we've got 3 teams that are so the 4 teams that are undefeated. Anybody surprising jump out at you there with that list?
I would just say Calgary, because the other ones, in recent years have definitely had playoff success. Winnipeg and Dallas and Tampa Bay. So Calgary would be the one that would surprise me. If it was going to be anybody in Western Canada, I would have gone to Edmonton.
Yeah, Calgary, just because of the emotion behind this season, which for now at least they've been able to channel that and funnel that into success in the early going. On the flip side, so we've got the 3 teams that have yet to record a point in the standings: Nashville, Colorado, and Edmonton. And again, this is all going into play tonight. So let me just remind myself of the scores real fast here. Woo, the Predators are getting spanked. Oh my goodness. It is 6-3 Seattle over Nashville in Nashville. So I'd say they're in danger of not getting off schneid.
It was just tied 3-3 at the end of 2. Oh my God.
The Oilers are losing to Philly right now, and Colorado doesn't play tonight. So who's most surprising to you on that side of those 3 teams? What surprises you the most?
All 3, to be honest, especially you said Edmonton.
Edmonton is one of them. Yes.
Yeah. Edmonton's the one the most surprising, seeing that they're coming off a cup appearance. They failed to win it, but they took them to 7 games. So, they can't do much better.
Yeah.
And then Colorado, they've had recent success, won in the cup a couple years ago. And then Nashville with the recent acquisitions, Stamkos and Marchessault. They're definitely, they're spending, they're acting like the window's open. So, most surprising would be Edmonton.
I'm with you in that all 3 of those are frankly shocking. I would not have pegged any of those guys to have gone pointless for the week. The one though, to me, if I'm going to pick one, and okay, it's our show, I guess I pose the question, I may as well answer it. Nashville would be my choice, just for the reasons you pointed out, where it was, they decided, hey, our window is open. We are going for this now. We are going to go do this thing. And they are, after tonight, going to be 4 games into the season and no points to show for it. That's frustrating.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just it. You go out and you be big spenders. You bring in guys that are going to, you hope are going to produce offense. And yeah, I'm right there with you if they're not producing offense.
Ralph Calise in the chat room, host of the Yinzer Report. He is very excited because Evgeny Malkin is currently tied for the NHL lead in points 1 week into the season. Yeah, he had himself a night the other night. He had I think it was 3 assists for Pittsburgh last night. He had himself a good night with the Penguins last night. Alexander Ovechkin also joined an elite club earlier tonight. I saw with the Capitals, 700 goals. 700? Yeah, 700. There's 700s everywhere with him. I had it and now I lost it. Well, I had it and then I lost it. But
that's one thing we've been watching since we started this show. How long is it going to take him to catch Gretzky?
Absolutely.
Here. He's just 42 goals away from number 895, which would break Wayne Gretzky's previously unsurmountable career total, make Ovechkin officially, the greatest goal scorer in NHL history. He has scored a 42 goals or better pace in 15 of his 19 NHL seasons, but at 39 years old, he dipped to 31 goals last season, lowest total in an 82-game season of his career. He didn't tally up. Well, we knew that playoff series against the Rangers was rough, but how rough? He didn't tally a single point in the 4-game playoff loss.
Yeah, that was brutal. What he did tonight, getting to what he did tonight, he had 2 assists tonight for the Capitals. Okay. He becomes the 6th player in NHL history to have 700 goals and 700 assists in their career.
Wow, that's incredible.
It's an impressive job. 853 goals and now 700 assists in the career of Alexander Ovechkin, the great 8 indeed. All right, let's take ourselves a quick break, and then when we come back, I know that you have a notebook full of stories that you want to get through, and so we will do our best. We probably won't empty the notebook tonight, but we will do our best to dive through and get through some of this here. You are listening to the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Adam and Zach will be right back after this.
Are you a fan of Buffalo sports? Are you thinking of changing loyalties and becoming a Buffalo sports fan? Do you even know where Buffalo is on the map? Did you know Canada is closer to Buffalo than New York City? Welcome to the Buffalo Huddle, every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Coast Time on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Patty Bax. This is a podcast designed for you, the passionate sports fan. I know you love your sports. Who doesn't? I cover Buffalo sports and so much more by bringing in the human elements. I call it Buffalo Sports with a Twist. Join me as we take a journey into the world of Buffalo sports. I guarantee you'll fall in love with Buffalo just like I did. Each week we start with an inspiration, question of the day, a Buffalo fun fact, and our weekly challenge to you, the listener. Come huddle up with me every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Coast Time for the Buffalo Huddle, with Patty Bax on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. As we say in Buffalo, go Bills!
Hey, Cleveland and Columbus sports fans, this is Jen B., host of the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. If you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, be sure to tune in live to the Show of the Land on Tuesdays, where we will cover the Cleveland Browns, Cavs, Guardians, and Monsters. We will also talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets, Crew, Fury, and of course, the Ohio State Buckeyes. We'll also cover other colleges in the area like Akron, Kent State, Cleveland State, Mount Union, John Carroll, Baldwin Wallace, Youngstown State, among others. So like I said, if you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, be sure to tune in Tuesdays to the Show of the Land with Jen B. on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back on into the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Adam and Zach back with you here on this Tuesday night. Lots that we're getting through, lots that we're talking about here in the hockey world tonight. Zach, I know that you keep copious notes and love to find all kinds of fun hockey stories all throughout the week. So we're going to open up. Larry B's in the chat room. He's excited. Story time.
Okay. First, we're going to do some retirements and contract notes. Shesterkin has turned down a contract offer from the Rangers. He's entering the final year of a 4-year, $22.67 million contract with the Rangers. Shesterkin turned down the team's offer to become the highest-paid goaltender in the NHL history, according to a report. He was presented with an 8-year, $88 million extension, which would surpass the 8-year, $84 million deal that former Montreal Canadiens goaltender Carey Price signed in 2017. Kevin Weeks of the NHL Network reported. Shesterkin, 28, will become an unrestricted free agent after the season if he and the Rangers don't come to terms on a contract. Won the Vezina Trophy back in 21-22. Also an All-Star. Here's what he says about the team. I love the team, love the fans. So of course, it would be great to stay here, but you never know what's going to happen. 5 seasons with the Rangers, who selected Shesterkin in the 4th round of the 2014 draft. The Russian native is 135, 59, and 17, with a .921 save percentage and a 2.43 goals against average. Expected to start for the regular season. Jonathan Quick, 38, 3-time Stanley Cup winner, is the club's backup in that. Coming off a season where they won the President's Trophy, top club in the regular season, but they lost to Florida Panthers in the Eastern Conference Finals. But when you have a 3-time Stanley Cup winner as the backup, I think he'll be okay. Did he wind up starting for the regular season?
And Quick had himself a nice year last year too, as the backup, and you know, he's not a guy you want going out there, 60, 70 nights anymore, a season anymore, but in limited spot duty, he can still get it done. What did you say that Shesterkin's current he's in He's in the fourth year of what was his current money? 22 million total. Is that what you said?
Yeah, 4-year, $22.67 million contract.
So basically five and a half. Yeah. More than 5.5, but less than 6 a year that he's making. And he turned down an 11 million.
Yeah.
88 and 8. So that would have been 11
so
million
double
a year.
his salary basically.
And frankly, I can't fault him. I mean, look at how well he has played for the Rangers. You know, look at how well he has done and how well the Rangers are doing. Man, you're in go get your money, go get everything that you can. You know, the salary cap is really tight. I genuinely don't know how much would be out there for him to have. You know, I don't know what somebody else would be paying him.
True.
But shoot, go whatever it is, go get it. Go get it, man. If somebody's going to give you 15, go get 15 then. If somebody's going to give you that, go get it.
Crazy,
I'm taking a look at some of the numbers right now for goalies here early, and of course you're crazy early into the season. Shesterkin, he's got a 229 goals against average right now for with the Rangers. He's got, what is his save percentage at the moment? He's 921, which right now is good for 15th. Shockingly enough, that's because we've got some goalies that are still counting in the standings that have started once and pitched shutouts. So that'll and then you've got Connor Hellebuck just screwing it up for everybody with a 976 average. That's insane.
Throwing off the curve.
Insane. Yeah. Yeah, you've got some just absurd numbers here in the first week of the season, but he is going to be worth every penny of whatever he gets from whomever he gets it.
100%.
What do you think? Does he stay with the Rangers, or does somebody? I'll shorten the question. Does he sign before the season is up? Do they come to an agreement? We'll start there.
Wow. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel like they're one of the top franchises out there, money wise. So I feel like they could probably meet him where he wanted to be.
All right. I think at this point, if I'm Igor Shesterkin, unless they just give me some money that I never in a million years thought I'd get, I play it out. At this point, play it out, ride it, let it ride. Pretend you're in Vegas, let it ride. You're playing with house money at this point. Yep. House money at this point. With every save he makes, with every puck he stops, there's another dollar in the bank, another dollar in the bank, another dollar in the bank.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Exactly. I don't sign a damn thing if I'm Shesterkin. Yeah. I let it ride out. The only thing that would make me pause for just a second is that whole nasty injury thing, and we don't want to talk about that.
Oh yeah, no.
We don't want to talk about that. But yeah. Oh no, if I'm Shesterkin, nah. Let it ride. Let it ride. Let it ride.
He's 28. Why not?
Somebody's gonna pay him huge this offseason.
Handsomely, yes.
Indeed. All right, you had some retirements that you needed to get to on the polar opposite side of the spectrum. There we go from talking about contract extensions to they're never going to sign a contract again.
Yeah. Kyle Okposo announced his retirement after winning the Stanley Cup with Florida. Veteran forward Kyle Okposo capped his career with style by helping the Florida Panthers win the Stanley Cup back in June. 3 months later, he announced his retirement from the NHL after 17 seasons. He's 36. He reflected on his career in an open letter distributed by CAA, the agency that represents him. 30 years of playing hockey was incredible. It brought me to some amazing places and provided such unique experiences. I believe the game is in a great place right now, but the possibilities are vast. I'm looking forward to continuing to contribute to the game as it reaches new heights. Panthers acquired him on March 8th from the Sabres, where he had been a captain since 22-23. He had 22 points in 61 games with Buffalo at the time. No points in 6 regular season games with Florida, making his first playoff appearance since 2016. He had 2 assists in 17 games to help the Panthers capture their first Stanley Cup in franchise history. He tallied 614 points, 242 goals, 372 assists in 1,051 career games with the Islanders from 07 to 16, Sabres from 16 to 24, and the Panthers. The Islanders selected Okposo with the 7th overall pick in the 06 NHL draft. So then also we've got...
I hate it when somebody younger than me retires.
Right.
I'm Kyle.
Yeah.
You're not allowed.
Yeah. Also, we got Mark Stahl and Alex Goligowski announcing their retirements. They also... Oh, go figure. They also had 17 seasons of experience. Wow. Mark Stahl announced his retirement after 17 seasons in the NHL, joined the New York Rangers as a player development assistant. In his new job, he will work with defensemen throughout the organization. His retirement as a player comes approximately 1 month after his older brother, Eric. Also, what's up with 17?
It's a magic number.
Eric officially hung up his skates after 17 NHL seasons.
It's a prime number. It means you never hit a halfway point in your career.
There we go. Exactly. Mark Stahl, 37, played his first 13 seasons with the Rangers. 892 games with New York are the 6th most in franchise history, trailing only Hall of Fame members Harry Howell, Brian Leach, Rod Gilbert, as well as Ron Greschner and Walt Chiszczuk. Rangers on social media. Congratulations, Mark, on a great career. Thrilled to have you back and looking forward to your next chapter as a New York Rangers player development assistant. Mark Stahl recorded 5 points in 35 games last season with the Flyers. He totaled 234 career points in 1,136 games with the Rangers, the Red Wings, the Panthers, and the Flyers. Added 20 points in 128 playoff games. Goligowski announced his retirement also after 17 seasons. Professional career began in 2004 with the Penguins. Split the first 14 years of his career between Pittsburgh, where he won a Stanley Cup, as well as the Dallas Stars and the Coyotes, before spending the past 3 seasons in his native Minnesota with the Wild. He appeared in 36 games this past season, had 10 assists. I think I've known for a while, Goligowski told The Athletic about retirement. Do you hang around and see if some team wants to throw some money at you? I have no desire to move my family, no desire to go by myself and do all that. That's the most amazing thing about finishing in Minnesota. It makes it all easier to say, hey, I'm good.
Yeah.
At least I think it's the longevity of it, honestly. I can see totally where it'd be very difficult if you're not planning on being done, where it's like you don't get a contract, but you're still younger. Feels to me like I've had my fun. I've done it long enough. I'm good to step away and move on. Yeah.
You think about a lot of these guys started playing hockey when they were 5, 6, 7 years old. So yeah, they've got maybe only 17 NHL seasons, but they've got 30 years of being on the ice. And that's,
You talk about Johnny Gaudreaus. His dad took him out there. He was only, days old, you said?
When he was, Guy took him out there. I mean, there were pictures of him just holding a baby while he's skating around on the ice. Yeah.
Wild.
You're 2 years old. You're 2 days old. You're plenty old enough. Get out there, go.
Right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, for example, I took my daughter to a Try Hockey for Free event this past weekend. She had a blast. It was amazing. She had a great time. They had a section set up for 2, 3, 4-year-olds that, oh, you've never been on the ice before? Here, come down here on this end. We're just going to play games out on the ice, basically, is all it is. Just pick up toys and carry them to various spots and slip and fall and laugh and have fun on the ice. Meanwhile, down on the other end, they're doing skating drills. And my daughter was just super excited that she got a stick. That was one of the, oh, Dad, I get my own hockey stick. This is so cool. So, seriously, you could get out on the ice. There are toddler programs out there for your itty bitties out there to get started. So yeah, some of these guys, they've been on the ice as long as they can move.
Nice. That's awesome.
So that's it. That's a thing. Absolutely. All right. We got time for one more. And this one I think is actually kind of relevant to some stuff we talked about last year and some things that may be coming down the pike
for sure
in the NHL. So get us up to speed on the latest safety regulation in the American Hockey League.
Well, if my cat would get off the article. Okay, he listened. We're good. Also, real quick, Red Wings were able to sign defenseman Moritz Cedar. And then how's Utah doing so far?
Very well, unfortunately. 3-1-0, 4 games into the season.
Good for the hockey club. I mean, Yetis.
we're not going to talk about their first game.
Oh.
We're not going to bring it up.
Going to look that one up after we get done.
Nope. No, we're not. No, we are not. We're going to talk about net guards in the American Hockey League is what we're going to do.
Okay. American Hockey League mandates net guards to prevent cuts from skate blades. American Hockey League will require all skaters, referees, and linespersons to wear approved cut-resistant neck protection on the ice beginning with the 24-25 season. League's governors unanimously approved the mandate. Already, they were required to wear wrist sleeves and socks that were resistant to cuts. AHL is the top developmental league for all 32 NHL teams, which has no neck protection rule. Go figure. Move comes after the death of former Pittsburgh Penguins forward Adam Johnson last year, who was playing in Britain in their elite ice hockey league on October 28th. Oh, it's almost been a year already. Wow.
Yeah, we're coming up almost exactly a year.
Yeah, when he suffered a slashed neck via skate blade from a Sheffield Steelers defenseman. Received emergency treatment on the ice, was taken to the hospital, and later pronounced dead. He was 29. After the death, the English Ice Hockey Association said it was requiring neck protectors. North America, the Western Hockey League joined the Ontario Hockey League and the Quebec Maritimes Junior Hockey League in requiring neck guards. International Ice Hockey Federation announced in December that it would require protectors for all levels. It was previously required for under 20 and under 18 tournaments. So I doubt it'll be very long before the NHL decides to do it too.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised, honestly, that it hasn't happened already.
Oh, same. Yeah. Like they say it has to go through, like the CBA and everything. And it's like, well, I don't see why players wouldn't want it,
Yeah. So
maybe just the cost of it. Like that's about the only thing that might be holding it back.
And we're going to have to do a little bit more of a dive on this. This might be a good homework assignment for next week. If you remember in the Adam Johnson situation, there was actually a person charged with manslaughter.
Yeah.
That case is not yet resolved.
Ooh.
That is still ongoing. So that'll be a tease for some upcoming stuff. We'll get everybody kind of caught up on that. But that case is actually not yet resolved over in English courts. So right. We'll do some follow-up on that here next week. So, but yeah, I love that they're trying it out in the American Hockey League. I think we've seen NHL players. We saw this last season already, that there were NHL players who right after that were saying, no, Give me that neck protection. All it can do is help me.
Yeah.
You know, and you were seeing guys saying like, it took me a day to get used to it and I was ready to go. And you still see players out there today wearing it. I think it is simply a matter of time. I wouldn't be shocked if it's next season that they say, okay, you know what, guys, you're wearing this, you know, and having him wear it in the AHL. Does the ECHL have anything for that? Do we know?
The article did not mention ECHL, just AHL.
All right. We'll have to look that up too, as part of the follow-up on this. If the ECHL, the double A, if you will, of professional hockey has anything for that. But, you know, having players, you know, you wear a full-on mask in college, you now wearing neck protection in the minors, you get to the majors, sure, yeah, you know, you get up to the NHL, sure, just keep it on. It's only there to help you. It's absolutely only there to help.
Now, okay, so even though the NHL has not mandated it, you know, across the board, the players are free to do it of their own volition if they want.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. They haven't mandated it, but if a player wants to, they're not going to tell anybody no. They're not going to tell anybody that you can't wear this.
That's good.
So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And with that, that is going to do it for our show here this evening. Big shout outs and thank yous again to our sponsors, Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet. Find them on Instagram at Planet Jerky, or you can go to their website, planetjerky.net, to place your orders. Be sure to check them out. We thank them for their sponsorship. Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. Check them out on Instagram, Seal the Deal _wax stamp. Place your orders at IESportsRadio.com. Seal the Deal Wax Seals. While you're there, check out the website, IESportsRadio.com. You can learn about this show, all the other shows on the network. You can also check out the shop, hoodies, caps, t-shirts, all those fun, wonderful things. Thank you to IE Sports Radio, without whom this show would not exist. Fan of the show knows people that can't listen live. Anywhere you get your podcast, this show and all others on the network are available. Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. Anywhere you get your podcast, you can find the shows. Thank you to everybody that was hanging out in the chat room with us tonight. Ralph Police, Larry B., thank you, gentlemen, for hanging out with us. Finally, thank you for listening to the show, whether this was your first show or you've been with us all the way since season 1. Thank you for being here. Let people know about the show. Normally we're on at 9 o'clock on Tuesday night. We had to reshuffle and reschedule things a little bit. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening and checking out the show. He is Zach Puplis. I am Adam Karnick. Together we are the Neutral Zone. We do this every week. We talk hockey, but we have fun while we're doing it. Until next week, light the lamp. What else do we say?
Protect your 5 holes on protection the board.
And stay out of the pepper dog. We'll see you next week, everybody. Have a good one.